We all had high hopes for this team when the season started, but then reality set in and it hit us all like we all just ran straight into a brick wall. And this team is a disaster. The Pistons have won 2 wins on the season. It was an exciting 2 wins at the beginning of the year. They looked great. Now they're on a 19-game losing streak. They're about to play the Indiana Pacers. So that's probably going to be game number 20. The Pistons aren't winning anything. So I honestly hope they just have the longest losing streak in the history of the NBA. I'm going to be that negative. But, man, I don't know what your take is or what you think. When do you think the Pistons actually get another win?
I want to comment on something you said. You said, I hope that they don't win another game. And I'm going to give you a question. Are you hoping that they don't win another game because you want changes? Or are you hoping they don't win another game because you want to see Tom Gores admit that there's a problem and this isn't working?
Great question. And I have thought about that. I want to see 10 more losses so that it does bring changes. And I would love to hear Tom Gores say he made a mistake. We probably won't hear it, but I would like for them to make a change. I'm not calling for anybody to be fired, but I hope after losing 29 games straight, it changes a rotation. It brings other voices in, something, lights a fire under the players' asses. That's the type of change I want to see. Great question.
Okay. I'm kind of in the same boat. I want to see changes. If that means that the Pistons have to break the tanking 76ers record, sure. If that means they have to go another month without another victory, I'm okay with that. I mean, you're already, at 19 straight? Yep. But to answer your question, when will their next win be? So I was thinking about this, and I don't know the schedule at the top of my head. So I'm looking at the schedule on ESPN, and I'm going to put it on the screen for you guys to see. And I'm looking at all of these teams we have to play. Like, we have to play the Pacers Monday, and I'm just looking at the schedule. You got Philly twice, Milwaukee, Atlanta. I want to say Utah. I really do, Lance. I really do. But here's the thing. The Memphis Grizzlies were so damn banged up, and they were only a 1-point underdog, and they lost by 14 points.
Yeah.
Like, I look at this schedule, and I'm thinking maybe you could beat the Rockets, but probably not. Maybe San Antonio in January. Like, this schedule is brutal. If you go on Tankathon, it says that the Pistons have the hardest strength of schedule for the remainder of the season, with their opponent's win percentage at 58%. This is a really strong schedule, but I also think Pistons are getting punished for tanking. Like, admittedly, like, why would you give one of the youngest teams in the NBA one of the hardest schedules? Not like bitching that, the schedule's hard and, the Pistons have to play, juggernauts for like 2 months straight. But I'm saying, like, you won 17 games last year. You won 20 the year before. You're on pace for, I think, 7 this year. It's looking bad, man. Like, I want to say Utah, but like maybe the Spurs, because the Spurs, I believe, are on a 15-game losing streak as well. And that's all the way in January.
Yeah, and that doesn't get talked about enough. But I'm looking at Indiana, and I'm thinking there's no way, just because Indiana, they're going to be angry after losing to the Lakers. They're going to want to take it out on somebody, and the Detroit Pistons are up right now. And then I'm looking at Philadelphia. They're, I believe, third in the Eastern, fourth in the Eastern Conference. They don't want to lose to the Pistons. They have one of the best centers in the league in Joel Embiid. They got Tyrese Maxey coming into his own, and they were playing pretty well. I think they've won 2 straight games, and they're coming off a pretty short break. They haven't played since December 8th against Atlanta, where they won 125-114. And they're also going into this game after playing the Washington Wizards. So they have a cupcake team before another cupcake team. That's perfect. And then you're looking at Milwaukee. They're a dangerous team. How are you going to stop Giannis? Damian Lillard, I mean, dude, he played great the last time they played him. He carried them into that win after Giannis got ejected. And then you're going against the Atlanta Hawks, they're the 10th seed in the Eastern Conference, looking to make a push for an actual playoff seed. And that's just the first 5 games. And Utah looks like the easiest team on the schedule, but they might be getting Lauri Markkanen back in that game. And how do you stop him in the season he's had? It's just, I'm with you. I don't know. Maybe it is against San Antonio. Maybe it's against Chicago when they play on December 18th. Maybe it's against Charlotte when I think LaMelo Ball still might miss that game, but they got a better cast of players all around. So I don't know when it's coming, man. I think we're in for potentially another month of losing basketball.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like when we were at 2-1, we were all hyped up, and maybe I think we're drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit too much. Looking back, like this is crazy, man. Like I know we did a podcast with Omari and Bryce, and I'm not gonna rip his article because I know that there are limitations with a lot of beat writers here in Detroit, and I don't think fans know that. Of what they can write. And I think even radio hosts in Detroit don't even know that. Like, he had wrote a piece about how the Pistons don't want to hit the panic button yet.
Yeah.
And, like, my question is, if you're not going to hit it when you're on a historic losing streak, when the fuck are you going to hit it? Like, when is enough enough? When do you say, you know what? We got to make a trade. We got to do something. Like December 15th is 5 days away as we're recording this podcast on the 10th. Like if there is not a trade at 12:01 on December 15th, I don't even know what I'm gonna say. Like I'm so numb to this losing. Like it's not healthy. I just expect them to lose and blow a lead. Like they'll have a lead at halftime. I'm just expecting them to blow it in the second half. I was like, that's not gonna last. It's just I could pick one part what's wrong with this team, and then I could find another 10 parts what's wrong with this team and this front office and ownership and everything else. It's just a complete mess from top to bottom.